Namo Buddhaya. Welcome to another video. In today's video, let's talk about relationships. And I'm going to be sharing with you 6 principles taught by the Buddha on having a healthy and happy relationship. Well, maintaining a healthy relationship, maintaining a happy relationship or long-lasting relationship is a bit challenging. Why? Because we have different personalities. We are different from one to another, right? But we lose this ability to understand about this situation, this reality. What is the reality? The difference between each other. Sometimes we ask from the people, or we ask from our partners, why can't you think like me? Why can't you be like me? Why can't you act like me or behave like me? This is where we make many problems in relationships. But if we can realize the difference between one another, or if we can realize this reality, what is that? We are different from each other. Then we can get the power of understanding. There's one important quality that we must practice in any kind of relationship, and that is the understanding. Right? Understand other situations. Understand why they are acting like that, why they are behaving like that. So, our great teacher Supreme Buddha taught there are 6 principles to practice. These are the practices actually. If you practice these 6 principles in any kind of relationship, your relationship will be much more happy and healthy. Okay, so without any further ado, let's get into these principles, and I'm going to explain one by one in turn. First of all, the Buddha said you need to practice these principles when that person, the person or our partner or our companion or the people who we are relating to, when that person with us or in front of us, and also in the times where that person is not with us. That means both privately and publicly we have to practice and maintain these principles in our life. And also these principles was taught by the Buddha to monks actually, because as monks we live as a community. Now in our monastery we have more than 25 monks. So when you analyze their personalities, they all are different. They all have different ways of lifestyles. So when we are interacting, there may be some problems. There may be some crashes. But if you practice these qualities, if we practice these qualities, there will be less problems. There will be less disagreements. So that is why Buddha taught us these principles. So this was originally preached by the Buddha to the monks actually, and also you can apply these principles to your life also. So let's get into the first principle. Buddha said, you need to treat your spiritual companions, regarding to monks actually. Buddha said, you need to treat your companions with physical kindness, bodily kindness. What do you mean by bodily kindness? There are certain things that we can do from our body in order to show our kindness or show our compassion towards that person. It may not be big things like spending money on big things and buying big things to the person, but also there are many things that we can do. There are little things that we can do for that person to create happiness on that person's mind. And also we can give that, by doing these things, we can give that idea that we value your life. That I value your being with me. So Buddha said, do the acts of loving kindness from your body. maybe like helping in his career, maybe like helping in his household activities. If you take an example, like in a husband and wife relationship, you can share the things that you are doing in the life. We can help each other. That is one way of showing love and kindness to that person. And also we can show in many ways our love and kindness to these people. When you act from your body with love and kindness, that creates the mutuality between people. So the first principle is to treat people with physical kindness. Then Buddha said, as the second principle, treat the companions with verbal kindness. You can speak nice and kind and heartwarming words to them to create the happiness and create the pleasure in their mind. Each and every one of us likes to listen to pleasant words, right? We all surrender in front of the kindness, kind words, kind actions. So the first and second thing is to treat them with physical kindness and also with verbal kindness. And as the third principle, Buddha said, this is the most important principle, and that is, treat your companions with mental kindness. This is the important one. Why is that? Because if you generate these kind thoughts towards the people around you, in your mind, your thoughts become your actions. Then your actions will be more kind. Your thoughts become your words, then your words will become more kind. So as the third principle, Buddha taught us, treat your companion with mental kindness. Okay? So when you treat your companion with mental kindness, that means you are spreading this rays and this power of kindness towards them when that person is in front of us, and also in the times where he or she is not with us. We have to do it in the same way. That is the third one. And also as the fourth principle, Buddha said, you have to share without reservation. For the monks, Buddha said, if you get any kind of food or any something good to your life, you have to share that thing with your spiritual companions. Now we monks, when we get some food, we always try to share with our monks. So you can adopt that to your life. Whatever the things that you get, maybe like you had something very delicious food when you're working in a long distance place. And when you come home, or when you come to your partner, or when you come to that person, you can say, hey, I had this food, I had this delicious food. I need you to have that. That means you're sharing it. When you share without reservation, it creates the peacefulness and it strengthens the relationships. So sharing is one of the most key and important ingredients in relationships. And as the fifth principle, Buddha said, you have to be virtuous. What do you mean by virtuous? Now, in Buddhism, as normal people, in Buddhism, we practice 5 precepts. Buddhist people practice 5 precepts: abstaining from killing beings, abstaining from stealing, abstaining from sexual misconduct, abstaining from telling lies, and abstaining from taking intoxicating drinks and drugs or alcohols. So these are the 5 precepts that lay people practice in Buddhism. So when you become more moral or virtuous, it creates the trust in people. Now there's in relationships, in normal relationships in people, this third precept is very important. In third precept, it simply says you are not cheating your partner. That means It creates the trust and loyalty between the partner and in the relationship. In any kind of relationship, trust is the foundation. Without trust, there is no use of a relationship. So when you become more virtuous, you will create the trust and loyalty in the relationship. And as the sixth and the final principle, Buddha taught us, you have to have a common view in any kind of relationship. That means, if you can, in a relationship, if both the people, or if everyone work for one dream, work to achieve one goal, that creates the peace in this relationship. Now, as monks, Buddha said you have to have one dream or one goal in your life. There's only one purpose of becoming a monk, and that is to end the sufferings of this long cycle of rebirth and to be enlightened. When all the monks get together and work for that dream, then that will be so much easy to live with them, right? When someone is deviating from that path, that creates the problem, right? So in relationships also, if every one of us can work for one dream or to achieve one goal, then that will be more easy and more happy. So these are the 6 principles that we must practice in any kind of relationship. You can apply these principles to any kind of relationships, whether it is husband and wife, maybe like girlfriend and boyfriend, whether it is like parents and children, whatever the relationship is, you can apply these principles and make it more healthy and happy. So practice these principles, add them to your life, and make your life a better one. So I'm going to end this video with a nice quote that I've read. It says, "All relationships go through bad times, but the real relationships get through bad times." So practice the principles and make your life a better one. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Buddhaya. One of our viewers have asked from us a question that how can we live in the present moment without worrying about the future? So this whole video is dedicated for him as well as for all of you who have the same question in your life. First of all, we have to realize that living in the present moment, focusing your mind to the present moment is not a simple thing. It is very hard, but also it is an achievable target. Our great teacher Supreme Buddha taught us, Atitang nanvagameya nappati kanke anagata. You should not chase after the past. And also, you should not make too much expectations about the future. Supreme Buddha said, Yadati tang pahinantang appattancha anagatam. What is past is left behind. It is gone. It is over now. Appattancha anagatam. The future is yet to come. It hasn't reached yet. Buddha said, Pachupannancha yo dhammang tattha tattha vipassati. What you have to do is live in the present moment and see the present moment as it is. Right? Realize the present moment as it is. So it is very hard to focus your mind to the present moment. Our great teacher Supreme Buddha taught us the nature of the mind is it always runs to the past. Normally, our mind has a habit to wander in the past, memories. Right? When we are alone, when we are solitude, and when we live in our life alone, lonely, Normally, it is the nature our mind runs to the past. It lives in the past memories, thinking about them. Sometimes you may regret about them. Sometimes you may be happy about them. Sometimes you may cry about them. Right? So that is the nature of our mind. It is always wandering in the past. And also sometimes our mind try to make expectations, too much expectations about the future. Right? People dream too much about their future, but they do not work for the dreams to come true. So our great teacher Supreme Buddha taught us, you should not let your mind to wander in the past, as well as you should not let your mind to go for the future and make too much expectations about that. What you have to do is, you have to work in the present moment to make your future better, as well as to make your past better. Because when you live correctly in the present moment, right, your past will be a good one, because you have lived in the correct way. And also, if you are sure that you are living correctly in the right way in the present moment, your future will be also a good one, because you are doing the right thing right now. So, you need to have a good practice to focus your mind to the present moment. So it should be practiced by meditation, as well as it should be practiced in the practical world, in your life. So I will teach you some tricks or things that you should practice in your life to be in the present moment, right? So when you have a free time, right, dedicate yourself to live in the present moment for a little time. During the day, when you have the free time, allocate your time about 5 minutes to live in the present moment. Sit on a chair, you can close your eyes and just experience that you are in your present. You are not in your past, you are not in your future, always you are in your present. That is the reality, right? The past has gone, as well as the future hasn't come yet, right? So, close your eyes and just try to focus your mind to the present moment. Try to think about what you feel, what you hear, and what you think about. All the things that you experience now will fade away to the past, and it will go into the arena of past, right? So take your time in the day and practice this. The best way to focus your mind to the present moment is the breathing meditation. Breathing meditation is one of the best meditations that you can bring your mind from the arena of past and the future to the present moment. Because the breath, when you are focusing on your breath, right, always the breath arises and it goes down. So this breath prevails in the present. So when you focus your mind to the breath, then your mind is always in the present moment. And also, you have to practice to live in the present moment in your practical life, in your day-to-day life. So how to do that? So it is very beneficial to live in the present when you are in the hard times, when you are going through a problem. Now suppose if a person comes to you and started blaming you. Now when he is blaming, you hear that sound, the words, right? When we think about these words, right? When he is blaming, you hear that, and after that very moment, it has gone to the arena of past. Those words are not prevailing anymore. right? But our mind does not like to think that. Our mind clings to those words, right? Our mind tries to hold on to those words, and what our mind does is it always make a loop-like thing to bring back all those thoughts, all those words again and again to our mind, and that is why we are suffering. That is why we feel hurt, right? If we can realize the reality that all these words that I heard has gone to the past, they are no longer here anymore, they are vanished, then you don't want to suffer for anything, right? Because it has gone to the past. You cannot do anything about that. But our mind is not ready for that, right? Our mind tries to cling to those words, right? So what you have to do, when someone blames you, when you are going through a hard time, realize that all those things are impermanent, and it vanishes very quickly from my life. So I don't want to worry about them, right? So if you are living in the present moment correctly, doing the correct thing, doing the right thing, doing good things, you don't want to worry about the past, as well as you don't want to worry about the future. Of course, you can make the plans for the future, no problem, but do not dream too much about it. Because the more we dream, it is like we are stopping our vehicle and just looking towards the road without driving, right? The more we dream, we feel jealous about the achievers who achieve our goals, right? So it is like you are stopping your vehicle on the road and looking at the vehicles that pass by. You are not driving, right? You can make your plans, you can make your goals, but do not dream too much about it. Just start working for it, right? So the dream becomes a goal when you are working on it only. So if you can live in the present, doing the correct thing, doing what should be done now, you don't want to worry about the past, as well as you don't want to worry about the future. So in that way, you will have a life without regret and without worrying about the future and the past, and live your life in the present moment and be happy by your life. Namo Buddhaya, Theruvan Saranai.